So why Newsy? Well, I know this isn't a news flash, but people don't like the media as much as they used to. They don't trust the media as much as they used to. And so this is from Pew, and Pew shows 1985 that the evaluation of overall press performance. Stories are often inaccurate. In 1985, 34% thought that. Now 66%. Tend to favor one side. Used to be 53% in 1985. Now it's 77%. And then often influenced by powerful people or organizations, 53% in 1985, 80%. People who watch news, they don't want a point of view. Even though you think that they might, 29% prefer having a political point of view. 63% do not. 19% went online. Greater for online users. But people, they don't want to be told what to think. They don't want to be told how to think. What they want is they still want an editorial function. They want someone to guide them. If you look up President Barack Obama and the healthcare, you're going to get 19,000 things on Google, 19,000 articles. What do you do with that? How do you decide what to look at? How do you decide what to read, what to know? And so they want people to make editorial decisions for them, but they want them to be fair. So what we do is we highlight the key differences in reporting. Now, let me suggest a couple of things. First of all, these are the sources that we used in this story: The Telegraph, CNN, Euronews, Jerusalem Post, BBC. And you'll see this story momentarily. These are all hyperlinks. So on our page, what you're going to do is if you tap on any one of these, you can actually go to those sources. This is important for a couple of reasons. We also have a transcript, and in the transcript, you can actually tap on Chicago's WGN. That will also take you to the sources. We will do audio calls on all of our sources. We do supers on all of our sources, and we do hyperlinks. Now, for people who are upset about the new age of aggregation or curation, the latest studies show that people who are linked to your site find your site. They tend to graze longer, they tend to come back more often, and they tend to be more imbued in your product. And the classic case of tech does very well for us. Obviously, people use tech devices. But how many of you subscribe to CNET or go to Tech Daily? How many of you? Okay, you do. If your business is that. Now, if we start to talk about the new iPhone and the iOS 5, and you have the ability to go to visit these sites and stay and graze and stay as long as you want and then just tap back, we think this is serendipity. It's serendipitous self-discovery. Because we as journalists have prided ourselves on being the gatekeeper, the agenda setter, the people who said what is news. Well, that's gone. That's gone. Consumers make decisions. They don't wait for you to deliver them the news at 5 o'clock. If you are waiting to tell them something that isn't happening right now at 5 o'clock, they're not coming back. Many times they already know it because of Twitter feeds or Facebook. They're connected as well as we are in many cases. And so it's very, very important that we understand as journalists that it's not the same role any longer.
It is done. After 5 years in captivity, Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit is home with his family, and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners have been released to their families as well. Some are calling the exchange historic, others tragic. The Telegraph has the first interview with Shalit, who says he hopes this is a precursor to peace.
أأمل أن تساعد هذه الصفقة في التوصل إلى سلام بين الجانبين الإسرائيلي والفلسطيني.
Some are critical of the exchange, 1,000 prisoners for one soldier, but as CNN reports, this is a chord which strikes deep in Israel.
His situation is one that basically every Israeli can identify with. Keep in mind that this country, of course, has conscription armed forces. It's very much a people's army where all the males have to go to the military for 3 years, the females for 2 years. So for every parent here in this country, it is their worst nightmare.
Euronews has the scene from the Palestinian perspective of prisoners who have been held for decades in Israeli prisons.
A huge demonstration of around 200,000 people turned out in the streets of Gaza to add their joy to the occasion. The release is a major coup for Hamas, The rulers of Gaza will milk the success for any political capital it can, as it continues to make its case for the overall leadership of the Palestinian people.
While many on both sides celebrate, others are angry. In the Jerusalem Post, one contributor calls this an epic failure. Over the course of 5 years, this country has been unable to create leverage or drum up the necessary international support, and in the end was forced to fold to bring Gilad Shalit home. In the final analysis, this will be understood to be one of the worst intelligence and military failures in the country's history. But the BBC reports, while many say Hamas won a huge political victory, others aren't so sure. In reality, Hamas compromised to make this deal. They backed down over the release of the most high-profile prisoners. Faced with dwindling popularity, uncertain about their base in Syria, and recently overshadowed by their rival from the Fatah Party, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, Hamas figured this would give them a boost. It will. But many believe Hamas has also played its trump card. What will be their strategy now? For Newsy, I'm Lauren Goris. Multiple sources, The Real Story.